Hey Google, what's the temperature in the beer fridge?
The beer fridge is currently 7 degrees.
Today we're gonna fix an old 1960s metal fridge that has a broken thermometer. So what's happening in this fridge right now is the compressor just runs. So the compressor creates the compressed freon that cools the whole fridge. But without a temperature sensor, it doesn't know when to run. So we just leave it on, and it's not sitting around here, but there's a little a little timer. So it goes on 15 minutes, off for 45. That's no good. What we want is to get a working thermometer back here. All right. Well, it runs. Just for some reason, it's flashing on and off, which isn't good.
It's all right.
My first inclination was to use a little microcontroller like this. It's a miniature little computer with a Wi-Fi card in it. Really fun to use. And then it attaches to this relay. So what the relay does is it's just basically an on-off switch. You connect wires into a relay, and they're either connected or they're not. Perfect. So I rigged it all up, and some nice 3D printed cases for them all. Wired the whole thing up. Turns out there's a problem. Can you read here where it says 115 volts? Perfect. 2.1 amps. Normally that wouldn't be a problem. But it turns out that electric motors are inductive, which is a complicated way of saying there's like waves that interact weird electrically. Anyways, it's a problem because they act as if they take more power. They don't, but they act as if they do. So this tiny relay wasn't good enough. So get a bigger relay, right? That should solve the problem. This relay is not powerful enough. And it says 25 amps to give you an idea of the way that an inductive motor can do weird things. So these switches aren't good enough. Then I found this switch lying around my house. And this switch has a magic feature. It says 1/2 horsepower motor. And this is an 1/8 horsepower motor, so it should be good. So I've wired it up and made the most expensive, fanciest on-off switch that's not even computer controlled yet. Let's see what happens. There it is, 1/8 horsepower compressor humming away just perfectly. Now there's a bit of a catch. Do you see how this relay has some wires coming out and I can control it? I can send in signals and I can say I want it on off. Because remember, the whole point of a relay is that we can use some sort of computer event or trigger or something else to turn it on and off. Switches, you kind of, you have to press it. Here's an example of even just a little switch, right? I gotta press this. So to make this fridge work, we need to think of a new way to check the temperature. And that's where the Internet of Things comes in. It turns out why I had this switch around was because it can be controlled by home automation hubs like this. So while there's no actual wires or control wires on the switch itself, this can talk over wireless communication over something called Zigbee. So I can actually control it. And then instead of using the wires inside here that connected to the thermometer in the fridge I added, instead I'm using this, which is just a temperature sensor that also hooks into the home automation thing. So effectively, I'm going to get this fridge working by using a complete home automation system. It's a little bit of an overkill, but it has a slight advantage. When this is done, I'll be able to set the color of the kitchen light to the temperature inside the beer fridge.